Hello everyone, my name is Jeremy Sparks and I'm here today to talk to you about the organization of main points when presenting a public message. It's important for us to remember that without organization of our main points, our message can easily become confusing to the audience listening. Joseph A. DeVito's The Essential Elements of Public Speaking provides 6 different organizational patterns that we can use to help organize our main points. Those different organizational patterns include the topical pattern, the temporal pattern, the spatial pattern, the problem-solution pattern, the cause and effect pattern, and the motivated sequence. Each of these different patterns provides different ways to organize our main points and can be used in different types of speeches. The first pattern that I want to talk about today is the topical pattern. The cool thing about the topical pattern is that it usually organizes your main points automatically. For example, if you wanted to present a message to an audience discussing the positives and negatives of different brands of dirt bikes, your main points would break out into the 4 main types of dirt bikes: Yamaha, Honda, Kawasaki, and Suzuki. And then you could go into each brand discussing the positives and negatives of each. The next pattern that I want to talk about is the temporal pattern. The temporal pattern can also be known as the chronological pattern. In this pattern, you can work from past events to present events, or from present events to past events, whichever way is more beneficiary to the message that you're trying to present. There are 3 main uses for this pattern, and they're to tell a story, to provide directions, or to show how something works. The next pattern that I present to you today is the spatial pattern. The spatial pattern uses space to describe objects or places. For example, if you wanted to describe the layout of a building or the contents of a book to an audience, you might use this pattern. For instance, in my previous line of work as a firefighter, if I were trying to provide the audience with information on how to escape a building if a fire alarm were to sound, this pattern might be very useful to me. The next pattern that I want to talk about is the problem-solution pattern. This pattern is normally used in persuasive speeches. First, you identify the problem, and then you present a solution to the problem. For example, if you were presenting a message on global warming to an audience, you would use this pattern. At first, you would present them that global warming is a problem and it's affecting us as humans, and then you would move into presenting a solution to that problem. The next pattern that I want to talk about is the cause and effect pattern. The 2 main elements of the cause and effect pattern: obviously, to present a cause and then to present the effects. Or you can present the effects first and then talk about the causes. Whichever way helps you convey the message that you're trying to convey. And the last pattern that I want to talk about today is the motivated sequence. This pattern is designed to motivate. There are 5 main parts to this pattern: to gain the attention of the audience, to demonstrate the listener's need, to show how satisfaction of the need can take place, to give visualization of what it would look like if this satisfaction were to take place, and then tell listeners what they need to do to satisfy their need. Each of these different patterns helps us organize our main points in different ways and can be useful in many different types of speeches. It's important for us to remember that without organization of our main points, that our audience can easily become confused in the message that we're trying to convey.